You're watching Guude. You're watching Guude. Fighting just to save our lives. Got you laughing every night.
Welcome back, everybody.
Welcome back.
So, Jeff, how about that
Yes.
UHC?
Well, I can't talk about the ending.
Well, all right. The end, y'all. I bet no one saw it coming. I feel like this was the one occasion where no one thought, there's going to be a UHC this weekend.
The question is, does nobody see it coming because they didn't expect it and it's going to be a good thing, or it's because nobody cares anymore?
I mean, so not too long ago, my Discord group looked at the numbers on my UHC, the fake one, last April Fool's Day, and episode 1 got more views than episode 1 of season 28. So I don't know. It's hard to say. I guess we're gonna have to wait and see, how it does view-wise. But based on what they've said, it seems like there's interest out there because of the fact that the fake UHC I did better than the last real UHC I did.
And which would be great, because I want there to be interest. I like doing them. I definitely think we should do them more. There's no question about that. We do them way too infrequently.
I think the only reason why people agreed to come to this one was because it was the anniversary. Because we've been asking for a while, like...
Have you been asking in the Discord?
Well, I mean, you're the only person that doesn't know how to read the Discord. You're the only... I want everyone to know that we did this thing where we filled out a Bumble or a Jumble or whatever the fuck the thing's called, where you put checks in boxes about when you can be at a place, and everyone filled it out, including Jeff. And then come time to record it, I text Jeff, and I'm like, hey, buddy, it's that time again. UHC time. Where you at? And Jeff's like, wait, now? And I'm like, yep, right now. And then he gets in the call. He's like, why the hell did y'all schedule this at a time that I can't be here? Like,
I would normally be at work.
Yeah, and he'd put the check in the box like he would be here at this time.
And it did turn out I had put the check in the box. But as I explained to Guude, I think when I looked at it, since we never record these things on a Friday, they're always like on a Saturday or a Sunday. I guess I filled out the times with my assumption being that I was filling out times for Saturday, Sunday, not even paying attention to the fact that it said Friday on the top of the one sheet. And it was funny too, because when I filled out 2 days worth of times that I thought I was available and I hit submit, it said something to me like, you haven't looked at all the choices yet. Hit here to look at the other choices. And I clicked, I was like, okay. And I hit the button and it showed me Sunday's times. And I just was in my mind, I was like, oh, it must not have recorded my Sunday. It must have only taken it one day at a time. And it just took my Saturday numbers. I got to fill out Sunday again. So that's my excuse, but it's,
it worked out.
but yeah, luckily I was able to make it in time and participate as to my fullest extent with what I had going on at the time.
But I am curious if we asked to do another one in a month or whatever, 2 months, whatever, sometime in the nearer future, because it's been 2 years in between season 28 and 29. But if we try to do another one, I wonder if people will be interested, or if it was I came for the anniversary, but now I'm good sort of thing.
I mean, I think people have fun with them when they play.
I agree. I mean, I don't think anyone's like, oh, I gotta do this UHC. So I don't know why.
I mean, clearly some people were, because didn't some people at the last minute say, do you guys really need me there? And then they didn't show up.
Well, Justin was supposed to be there, but something came up and he was up really late, and he's like, I'm gonna be dead if I try to come. So hope you guys don't mind. But then Dyer, I guess, was overslept, and he was like, do I have to be there? And we're like, yeah, yes, you do. You must be there. I do think some people, for instance, I think there's a problem where, we should probably sleep. There is a bed down here. Do you see the bed?
I'm in the nether, so you can,
okay.
You can sleep without me.
So I think one of the things that hurt the constant creation of UHC is the transition from YouTube to Twitch. So for people like CoStar, there's not a lot.
There's absolutely zero incentive except from I'm playing a game standpoint.
Right. And, I'm helping out, everyone else make this content. But as far as, it ain't going to grow his Twitch stream anymore, because, I think he did decide to put it on YouTube. Like, Breon's not even putting his on YouTube. He's just going to put it on Twitch.
So
but
I was going to say,
see it
you can put it on Twitch still, though, right? I did see Breon talking about having trouble scheduling it appropriately.
Yeah. So whenever
which is weird, because we did that at the very beginning of their VOD.
Yeah, I think they've changed the VOD service in a way, because I read what he was saying too, and it sounds like they've renamed the VOD service from this like Twitch VODs or whatever to Twitch Premieres, and like you can't just schedule them because they want you to premiere these things in a way that like you're there live talking to your audience when this video goes out. So they
really don't want to have a VOD service.
Basically, it doesn't seem like they do. Like you can upload videos here, but it still needs to have a live aspect to it. Is kind of what it seems like they're trying to do.
Because weren't they originally what we thought they were doing? At least trying to like get a slice of YouTube's.
Yeah, they were trying to be competitive.
Which I would have been happy had they succeeded at that, had they figured out their whole monetization thing for the videos and stuff appropriately. But
I think that was the biggest problem from the content creation side of it was their ads suck. Like they take such a big cut of normal, just regular ad plays that Twitch isn't monetized in that way. And so from a content creation standpoint, it's like, what incentive is there to put stuff here? Because I was going to double dip and just upload my content to both places, but their site was just slow in every way. Like the processing slow, everything about Twitch was just it wasn't a pleasant experience. So I just I'm not messing with this. It's too much of a hassle.
Yeah, it is interesting because back when Mindcrack started as a group, not just your single player, it wasn't a requirement that you made YouTube videos, because at the time live streaming wasn't a thing.
It was a requirement eventually. Not like the first few contests weren't. There was no requirement like that. There was just like you got to play on the server was the only requirement. It wasn't you had to, because remember like when Arcus joined, Arcus never made a video for years. He built that whole mothership out in the ocean, and no one ever got to see anything.
That's right. Yeah, because I thought at one point it did get to like. When you did make it a requirement, it was a requirement for putting out YouTube videos, and the purpose was to bring more exposure to it, let other people see what else is happening on the server, not where the handful of people are recording, but where everybody's like recording, everybody can see. But yeah, live streaming wasn't a thing at the time, and so it wasn't, or it wasn't.
I mean, it was a thing, but it wasn't as big for sure. But now, I mean,
Justin.tv.
Yeah. I mean, did you see the other day that this piano channel on YouTube, they've had all their videos demonetized for being repetitive content?
I did see that, and I thought that was like, and that's where, but we talked about this for years. YouTube has a flaw that they are not addressing. And what was it? There was some big YouTuber the other day who just said he's going to quit making. He got a strike for something that was like not strike worthy, and he said, "You know what? I'm done." And he's just like, "I'm not putting videos up on YouTube anymore."
I didn't see that one,
and I'm trying to remember what that was about. I just saw the article on it, and now I can't remember. But yeah, well, we've always known that they have this, flaw that is going to stop them from being able to keep pulling in the content creators at the rate that they once did. But the problem is, I mean, they have both sides of the coin. It used to be an exclusive platform for payment. And when you met the threshold and gained partnership, it was like an awesome thing. Like you felt, wow, I did it. I made it somewhere. I'm approved partner for YouTube. And they seemed to try to keep you happy.
Yeah.
And then they opened up the platform to anybody who wanted to fucking join the platform and try to make money, and they stopped giving a shit about their content creators.
Did you see that video? It was on Reddit a few days ago about basically like all these videos monetized that are just like, basically it's like softcore pedophile videos is kind of what the whole thing was. Did you see that?
No, I didn't.
So this guy did a YouTube video, and apparently it's been a thing that people have been talking about for a while, according to his video. I didn't know anything about it. It's the first I'd heard about it, but he basically shows how you could look within like 3 searches, you get in this like loophole of all recommended videos being videos of like little girls in tight shorts doing like gymnastics, or doing like a lot of them have done this thing called like the popsicle challenge, where they basically just eat popsicles, and like all the comments on the videos are like timestamps to like a certain point where like, you know, like, and they're like doing the splits or whatever, and like all these like comments are just like they got hundreds of comments, and they're all just like, oh yeah, and shit like that, like just like it's really fucking gross.
That seems pretty gross.
And they're all monetized too, and they have like millions of views, like 10 million views on some little girl doing the splits, basically.
But if you show people stealing packages off your front porch, God knows that's going to get demonetized and stay demonetized.
Wow.
Affirmed after manual review that it is not monetizable content.
And he even showed how a lot of them have the comments disabled, and YouTube in their guidelines say that if there's content that perpetrates the kind of comments that would be seen like you know, like these like pedophilic type comments, that they'll cut off the comment section. So they have a method for identifying these types of videos, and their solution is to let's just turn off the comments.
I mean, but what is it that's going to make YouTube change? Because then there's some law. I recently learned about a weird law, which I find it weird because I thought that the concept that I thought there was an absence of this law is why certain websites shut down. But it is a law based on if you build a platform and somebody does something illegal on it, you as the creator of the platform will not necessarily be held accountable for what other people did on your platform.
But isn't that a law now? Because like I remember, isn't that why Craigslist shut off like the personal
So that's what I was
ads or
going to say. That's why I thought that certain websites had shut down, but I was just watching this video about the fact that this law exists. And I can't remember. I wish I knew what this law was called. And I was kind of baffled when I heard about it because I didn't realize that was true. And I thought places like Craigslist turned off their personal ads because of that concept, just like you said. That's what I thought as well as I think there's other websites that have shut down for that reason. So, but clearly, obviously, YouTube is not getting held in any legal trouble because you can't tell me there's not been crimes committed based on YouTube videos.
Oh, sure, there's got to be. Like,
and anything that went up that was like child porn or copyrighted material. If I go put up like a movie,
right? Like
YouTube's not getting held responsible for that. I am getting held responsible.
Right. Yeah, it's interesting. I
agree with. I agree with that to an extent, but I think it's kind of funny that there's certain websites that seem to have been taken down by that exact concept that YouTube doesn't get in trouble for.
Right. Yeah, I don't know where the buck stops, sort of thing. Like, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, like what kind of things they're going after? I guess is it just like sex crimes? That's what Craigslist was worried about, was basically prostitution, right?
Well, I think they were worried about the prostitution side of it, as well as a lot of alleged stories of like rapes and stuff happening from people meeting somebody else on Craigslist and not being I'm going to meet you for sex, but turning into I went and met you and there was sex that was not consensual.
You know, I'm not condoning any of this, but I do feel like if you talk to someone on Craigslist and you go to meet them, you have consented before you left your house, sort of thing, right?
Not to sex.
Well, I mean, I feel like so Craigslist, those kind. So what I'm trying to say
point,
is,
though, once you've met, you're just like people meeting in public.
Sure, I'm not trying to say that is. Basically, what I'm saying is like, I don't want people to take this all fucking wrong. I just know it, but like, I feel like the personal ads on there was looking for sex. It wasn't looking for boyfriend or girlfriend, right?
Well, no, there was a whole section on there for like not just looking for sex. Like it was supposed to originally be classified ads for, but I think the problem is that connotation is exactly what the average person thinks about Craigslist, is that Craigslist basically turned into just this, sex meetup place, because it wasn't one of the standard.
Yeah, I've never saw Craigslist as a dating website. Basically, like if you,
but it was though. It was just a personals section. It wasn't a I will come fuck you section. So therefore, no matter how you look at it, you just because you went and met somebody does not mean that you consented to
right.
sexual
I guess
relations with that person.
In my thought, you would have already verbally consented to sex before you even left your house. Also, not just
if you thought it was just a prostitution classifieds and not
not
a
prostitution,
thing.
like two people looking for sex.
Or sure, it doesn't have to be prostitution, sure. But if you really thought that the platform was just because people are doing this is only for sex, the purpose of it is to find two people to go have sex with each other, then sure, I can understand what you're saying is by going to go have sex with the person you've agreed to have sex to, you've kind of consented to it. Right. But at the same time, you definitely haven't still. But
honestly, in my email,
no matter what it said, and
if I was meeting someone on Craigslist, I would have already said to them, "So we're having sex, right?" That sort of thing.
you would have like laid out the ground.
I mean, kind of, right? Like, you kind of want to go ahead and get that all worked out. Like, it's not... I don't know.
I've never met somebody off of Craigslist for sex. So
me either.
No.
Me either. I'm in bed.
Well, let's see. You're easy to please.
Yes, sex now, please.
Hold on, I'm trying to fly out of these slimes. What the heck? Can't fly, right? What is happening?
What are you doing?
I'm getting like a block or two up off the ground, and then it's coming right back down instantly. Instead of taking off the rest of the way. I was like actually launching up, but then I would end up back on the ground. I think it was just like the client and server weren't agreeing to what actions I just had done. Oops, I hit the wrong button.
You think Hillary Clinton's gonna run again?
I don't know. I think with the whole email scandal and the fact that there's so much of the country because the Trump supporting side that still thinks that Hillary Clinton should be in jail, do not know if that would be a good move.
I mean, she was asked recently, and her answer was, "I'm not ruling it out." I am not sure. I'm not sure she would be somebody to. If you want somebody to take over from Trump, if you want somebody to beat Trump as the incumbent in an election, I'm not sure that Hillary is your person to do it, because I still think there are people, a big chunk of people, who will not vote for crooked Hillary, whether any of the stuff that they're not voting for is true or not. I just think that there's too much people against her, and that it would give Trump a big leg up to win. I'm still convinced there's too many people that won't vote for a woman, period, almost. Like, I feel like there was...
I mean, that might be true. She won the popular vote, though.
That is true. I do think that more people will come out to vote. I don't think anyone took Donald Trump seriously. Like, I didn't, like, I was worried when it came to
a small handful of people did take him seriously.
Yeah, but I don't think enough Democrats took Trump seriously. Like,
right. The Democratic side did not take it seriously, right?
But yeah, like early on, I was like, "There's no way. There's absolutely no way." But then as it got closer and closer, I started saying, "You know what? I'm a little afraid."
I used to joke around with my wife and tell her that I could see it. I knew he was going to win, and she would be like, "Shut the fuck up," because it was a big joke, but there was no way it was going to happen. And then as it got closer, I started getting less and less jokey when I was saying it, and I was like, "You know what? He's going to win. You realize that, right?" There's no way. Well, here we are.
She was real angry on election day.
Now the question is, what? I guess this is kind of a year and a half apart, essentially, is what they're going to be, though. How does Brexit make America look less bad?
What do you mean?
Because Brexit's such a disaster right now, and it's coming up on its deadline to, leave without a deal, because of the fact that they can't come up to a deal. When that just completely fucks over the European economy, and because the people of Europe voted that, or people of Britain voted that. So just like we, the people of America, voted Trump. Well, we get a little more, like a little less of the blame for what stupid state we got ourselves into.
No, I don't think so. No. I love how Milby's like, God, this Brexit thing's such a mess, and he voted for it.
Well, and that's what they've interviewed a lot of people that have voted for it, and they basically said because they didn't understand it, they didn't know any better at the time. They happened.
Milby said Milby's whole thing was, I just kind of wanted to see what would happen. I knew it was a bad idea. God damn it, Milby. That's not how the world works.
Well, apparently it is how the world works.
What a mess.
Because that's happening. Though it's really weird that their parliament can still back out of it officially. And they just don't want to. I can't say they just don't want to. One of the reasons they don't want to is because they don't want to have the bad press of going against what the vote was. And I'm like, well, yeah, like honestly, if your people voted for it, you can't just unilaterally be like, sorry guys, we don't think this is a good idea. Like this democracy is saying that nope. We're going against what you voted for. So it's such a weird situation because a lot of people are sitting there talking on TV about how they just need to stop it. They just need to step in and stop it.
I mean,
that's
to some degree, isn't that what the Electoral College does, though? The majority of you voted for this thing,
yes,
but you know what?
Is.
It's
not. And that's part of what what that argument is that it was a whole. Was it John Oliver or was it Trevor? I think it was John Oliver. I watched the other day talking about it, and he basically said that the average person shouldn't have to know all the ins and outs of these type of things. That's why you have elected officials who you hope make that choice for you based on the best of the intentions that they should be understanding that you're looking for. Which makes sense to a point, and that's what the Electoral College is. But then look at the mess the Electoral College has gotten people into on numerous occasions.
Well, I don't think that whenever the Electoral College was set up, I don't think they foresaw how bad gerrymandering would get.
Well, right. There's definitely there's many different. I don't even know how gerrymandering is like legal. I don't like a whole. Not even legal. How is there some random loophole that lets you just change your election sector lines?
Right.
Like, how does that even happen?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It is weird how we've managed to fuck this up that bad.
Just because it is illegal officially, right? To gerrymander?
Yeah,
Yet somehow you can do it because there's a mechanism to do it.
Right.
And it's not. It's like we're gonna make it illegal to redraw the lines of an election so that they help out one party, but we're gonna still let those.
You can still redraw the lines
able to be drawn every year for some odd reason, just in case. What was the tweet that I saw the other day? It was so funny. It was Comcast sent out a tweet saying something about how they would never share your personal, or they would never throttle or connection to certain websites based on like politics or whatever. Basically, the whole net neutrality thing.
Yeah.
And some guy's comment, his tweet response to it was something along the lines of, "Guys, we won't do it. So don't worry about it. But let us. Just give us the power to do it anyway. But just in case we need to do it. But we won't do it. We promise we'll never do it.
Yeah.
We need to be able to do it just to protect you. So we need to be able to do it, but we won't do it. We promise we won't do it."
That sums it up. That's exactly the thing.
Net neutrality. Ajit Pai or whatever the hell his name is. I hope that guy is like ousted and never let work again in a high power position.
He'll probably be.
That's never gonna happen. I understand, but that's just like that shit like pisses me off. How you could somehow even try to argue that net neutrality was hurting people is.
I mean, the only people that wanted it to go away were the corporations that could abuse it. So.
Yep. God, I mean, how easy would it be? Like, because I'm sure this is illegal somewhere. I'm sure it's some FCC ruling as well, but you can't make it so that a Sprint phone can't call like an AT&T phone.
Right. Can you not?
I don't think you can. Maybe they just are smart enough to know that nobody would buy that plan if they didn't. I don't know, but my assumption would be that that's
like I hate that. I mean, it's gotten better now that my AT&T works over Wi-Fi, but back in the day it didn't. And so if you had an Android phone, I couldn't fucking text you unless I had a cell phone signal. Because it, like iPhones go through iMessage, so it goes over Wi-Fi. But when I text an Android phone, it's a text message that has to go over the cell signal. So like, I always hated anyone that had an Android phone because it's like, well, I can't text you because I don't have cell service at home. Which is a similar kind of thing.
I don't know if my texts still work over Wi-Fi. I think my texts still only work because in my hospital I lose service in the basement, but I can turn on like Wi-Fi calling and stuff. But I can still never send a text out in the basement of the hospital.
Really? Yeah, my texts work over Wi-Fi.
I'm pretty sure mine only work over data.
Who do you have?
I have now I have T-Mobile, but I used to have Sprint.
Huh?
But I have an Android phone.
Right. I mean, maybe that's part of it too. I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know what my next phone's gonna be, honestly.
Test that one more. Something with a headphone jack, right?
Probably. I mean, I've been slowly considering, do I have to give up this fucking fight? I've been trying to be very stubborn and hold out, but like, I've tested other phones, and like, the iPhone is the only one I've really super liked. But I'm not super into any phone anymore, honestly. But it's like a necessary evil sort of thing.
I still hate iPhones. I don't know why.
What do they do to you?
I have an iPad that I use around the house now too, and it's okay for some things, but there's so many things that one button doesn't do enough for me. I don't have enough functionality with that one button to
How many buttons you got
do
on
all
your
the
phone?
things I need to do. Huh?
How many buttons you got on your phone?
So I theoretically there's not any buttons. They're all like electrocapacitive touch areas of the phone, but there's theoretically 3 of them.
Well, you can
ignoring
map
volume and stuff.
You can map your volume to other things too.
But then how do you do volume?
It depends on the application. Like for instance, like with photos or whatever, you can use your volume button to take the picture.
Yeah, maybe it's just that I've never used one in a day-to-day operation, so I didn't know how to use it as well as I do. I guess the Androids are built up a lot more like the old Windows phones were, which was based on Windows operating system technology, which I get, and the iPhone was completely something different. So maybe that's why.
Maybe
it's just like Linux to me or something. Oh, did you know through Amazon Web Services there's access to free like virtual machines that you can use over at AWS? Yeah. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I knew about that. I'm in bed.
Oh, I set up an RTMP server through one that I'm going to try to use for the chili cook-off.
Right.
Not in the exact way that I was thinking I was going to use it, but in a way that I think will allow me to work and get 1 or 2 extra camera angles without being too crazy. I can't figure out how, for the life of me, Sev originally had it set up. Like, if you start streaming to the RTMP server, and then I said I'm streaming to the RTMP server, who has it? What if we're both streaming to it? What happens?
First in, basically.
And if you leave, will mine take over?
Yeah.
Okay. So maybe it would be working appropriately then. Because I wanted to make it so that I can jump in and out of different camera angles randomly throughout the thing. And what I've realized that I can actually do that might work for me is I'm going to stream, when I need to stream outside content, I can stream it from my phone to the RTMP server, and I can actually have a VLC plug-in on whatever machine I'm actually broadcasting from and pull up the RTMP stream.
Right.
Directly into what I'm broadcasting. And that'll work for the way I need it to work for. But I was thinking I could I don't know how I was thinking it could somehow be all set up to stream on that RTMP box, and I could have like a scene set up that was waiting for like 4 different streams to come in and stream them all, simultaneously.
Yeah, I don't think that's how that works. So
It didn't seem to be from what I could find. That's why I was confused.
yeah,
But
damn, inventory's always full. Hate it.
oh yeah, I went down there to empty my inventory, and you said you were in bed, so I slept and never emptied my inventory.
Man, we're getting real close.
We are getting real close. Then we got to figure out the water source block thing.
It's
gonna be a
thing.
one source block, right?
Oh, right. That's what you mean. I was like, what do you mean water source block? Yeah, but that won't take too long to set up. But then the real question is, what do we do next? Where does the series go?
I mean, I don't know. Maybe the viewers will have to tell us where they think the series should go.
Maybe. I know Breon said he has an idea for us to do something next after this. I don't know what it was, though. He never told me.
I think you should set up another surviving Minecraft island.
We should build surviving Minecraft Island on the Minecraft server.
And then,
I was thinking about it the other day, and if we did that again, the best way to do it would just be live stream the whole thing.
yeah, that would work. You wouldn't have any. The problem is you wouldn't have the fancy cuts and all.
Right.
Because the end product of what actually got put out there was beautiful. Like, Broadband did a good job when they put that thing together.
$30,000 to have it produced.
but yeah, it was way too delayed to have it.
Very delayed. It's very expensive. Very much not worth it. The whole project was a failure in my opinion, to be honest.
Well, I don't think the Pro was a failure. I think it was the end product was a failure. Like, not really. It didn't do what it was supposed to do because it came out 2 years later.
Right.
Had it come out like 4 months later, I think it would have been huge.
Maybe. I don't know. It's hard to say.
So I saw randomly a news article talk Survivor Maryland. I was like, what the fuck is this Survivor Maryland? Apparently some University of Maryland has been doing a Survivor every for 12 seasons or something like that.
Really?
And they do it basically, the college kids, it's like one of the things that they do during the, but they still do the vote outs. There's still challenges, pretty crappy video footage and all, but they try. As I watched a couple of them, and I was like, this is kind of entertaining. Like this newest season that they have. And then randomly what comes across my recommended feed was Survivor University of Michigan.
Oh.
And then I saw Survivor something Baltimore, and I was like, or is it not Baltimore, something Boston, and I was like, oh, apparently these are done at colleges all over the place that I've never known about.
Wow, that's interesting. Yeah, I've never heard of this.
Yeah, you should check it out. It's very
I did finish David versus Goliath, by the way. And I don't know why everyone was so...
that's what I told you. Why was it the best thing that's ever happened? So I was like, if you finish David versus Goliath,
you just broke up worse than you've ever broken up before. I have no idea what you said.
It's my excitement level, man. Yeah. Some of the things that they use that they'd never used before, new things that they introduced, were really fucking cool. But that didn't make up for the entire thing to be like.
Yeah, no, I don't. It didn't make it the best season of Survivor of all time.
Like the idol blocker.
Yeah, luckily it got played right. That was cool.
True. But yeah, nothing definitely made me look best season ever. Like, there was some cool things in it, and all in all, it was a decent Survivor, but it was not what everybody was hyping it up so much.
Yeah, I agree. I enjoyed it.
I don't know why.
I wouldn't watch it again. I've seen it.
Didn't you say Justin, wasn't he one of the ones that couldn't do something because of...
No, it was a friend of Justin's. I don't think Justin actually watches Survivor. Yeah,
no. So I'm curious to talk to him, like somebody who thought it was like the best thing ever, to see what. I mean,
going into the finale, I don't remember. Do they normally have 6 contestants still in the game before the live special? I felt like there was more people still in the game whenever it was like time for the live stream.
Was there 6 people still?
Yeah.
No, there was only 3 at the end.
No, the final episode, it's a 2-hour finale, and there's 6 people at the start of the episode.
How many people were on stage at the end?
6? Well, whenever they read the votes, there was 3, but at the start of the live stream, there was 6.
Oh no!
I'm sitting there thinking, man, some of these people know they're about to go out. They know they go out.
That's true. like I'm supposed to sit here and look pretty knowing I'm down because I've known for however many months that I'm not here. I don't know the new Edge of Extinction, whatever this new one is. I don't know if it's the way my news feed is set up, but man, when I go to the news app, there's at least 3 articles on.
What is it?
On it, the new Survivor that starts this week or next week or whatever.
What's it called?
Age of Extinction or Edge of Extinction?
Why is it called that?
I don't know.
Oh.
Apparently, there's some big new twists and stuff in it, though, and they're talking.
Is this the one that's in Antarctica?
I don't think so, because all the pictures I saw still made it look like a boat in a tropical area, like where they took the pictures. But who knows? Maybe that's part of to throw us off. I would so do a Survivor in Antarctica. That'd be awesome.
You would do a Survivor anywhere.
That's true. That's true. I
well,
could pull off a Survivor in Antarctica.
Because
then, hey, I'm then like, look at me. I'm like fat and pudgy. You wouldn't even know I'd be wearing like warm clothes. You wouldn't even have to worry about me trying to take my shirt off and be like, look at my massive man chest.
Like, I wish we could go back and have like another Survivor, like Africa, just how those went back in the day. I miss
when they had to be up on like lion watch. Nice.
yeah. We might get ate by fucking lions, everybody.
Yeah, it is kind of annoying that they're all like, because there was Africa. China was one that, if I recall, they weren't on a beach at all. They were just in like this dirt pit somewhere.
Yeah.
It was pretty much the way we're at. But every one of them since has been pretty much Fiji.
Yeah.
Fiji.
I think they bought some fucking land. They're like, all right, this is our fucking land now. This is where Survivor happens.
I mean, they probably did. It probably makes sense for them to.
Right. Like infrastructure and stuff like that. It's probably for like the cameramen and all that shit. Like, yeah. But anyways, we're out of time. So hope you are watching UHC if you're watching it. Hope you're enjoying it. It's gonna be a hell of a season, everybody.
It'll be a hell of a season. Stay tuned. We're gonna be 6 of us left at the end before the live stream starts to reveal the winner. And
all right.
And right after that, we're taking off on our next journey for our next UHC. Wait, wrong show, right?
See you guys later.
All right, see ya.